The new R values are here. The new R values are here. Wait, what's an R value? Hi everyone, my name is Grimace. You're watching The Bespoke Woodsman. On this channel I talk about hiking, backpacking gear. If those kinds of things interest you, click subscribe. Smash that notification bell while you're at it. That way you'll get a notice every time I upload a new video. So outdoor manufacturers have started updating the R values on their sleeping pads. If you're like me and you sort of obsess over company websites, you may have started to see them change with these new R values. So then what does that mean exactly? What is an R value? Why is it changing? And what does that mean for you? An R value measures how well an object resists, there's the R, the flow of heat from one side to another. So sleeping pads are usually just inflatable pads or closed cell foam pads that don't actually generate any heat, so you can't really measure their warmth. So instead, you measure the ability to resist heat loss from your body, which your body has been expending energy to create, to the ground. Simply put, the higher the R value, the warmer the sleeping pad, at least in theory. See, the problem is there's never been a way to measure R value. Every company had its own way to measure it, if they measured it at all. It was usually large retailers like REI and MEC pressuring companies to list an R value that made them do it, and in many cases they either made up numbers or estimated or had some in-house system set aside to measure their R value. Some companies like Big Agnes and Nemo didn't even list R values at all. That's where the ASTM FF3340 sleeping pad R value standard comes in. It's a mouthful, right? The ASTM is an international standards and testing organization. ASTM used to stand for American Society for Testing and Materials. It's now an international organization, so they no longer stand for that. It's just the company's now just called ASTM International. They've developed a new standard to measure sleeping pads on a consistent set of criteria. In English, you can now look at two sleeping pads by two different manufacturers and compare their insulation properties. This happened a few years ago with sleeping bags and quilts. It really forced companies to begin to innovate again after a few decades of stagnation. It forced competition. It's really been good for the industry on that side. So hopefully that will now extend to sleeping pads. It's a really exciting change. There's always been a lot of confusion surrounding sleeping pad insulation, what the numbers mean. It's obviously a very important part of your sleep system and of backpacking in general. So having a set standard is really a very good thing. That said, don't rush out to your favorite outdoor retailer expecting everything to have changed overnight. Manufacturers have been a bit slow to roll out the new R values on their websites and even in store, probably so that they can sell off their old inventory before everyone expects to see the new standard. Like at REA's website actually doesn't, while I'm recording this, it actually doesn't list the new R values at all, despite the fact that they were one of the biggest influences on the change. That said, it's not going to be long before you start to see the ASTM R values hitting all of your favorite products, listed on manufacturers' websites, on the boxes and on shelf, and actually you could actually start to see some of that older gear with the old R values start to go on sale. In fact, you're starting to see a little bit of that already. This would be a very good time to shop for a sleeping pad. So there you go. Hope that explains what's going on. It's a really big and exciting, ultimately, change to the outdoor industry. It's going to spur innovation. It's going to make everything make a lot more sense, just sort of uniformly across the board. And it should help you find the right sleeping pad for you, which is really important. The sleeping system is a vital part of any outdoor adventure. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if there's anything I missed. In the meantime, if you found value in this video, would you go ahead and click the thumbs up button? This is kind of a different sort of a video for me. It's kind of a thing I might like to do more of in the future, so it's helpful to me to know if this is the kind of video you enjoy seeing between my trip videos. And then also, you know, if you didn't like it, click the thumbs down button. That's valuable feedback for me too. Anyway, whatever you do, thank you so much for watching, and hey, let's do this again sometime.